I went to Tokyo. I went to Tokyo and bought a ton of Fire Emblem goodies, as well as some other video game stuff too. Before my trip, I looked up on Reddit to see where everybody else got Fire Emblem and other video game merch themselves in Tokyo, so I'll be letting you guys know where I got all of my stuff in case you ever go to Tokyo as well. Now the first store I want to talk about is a place called Grand Panda Canyon, which is a place in Akihabara. This is the place where I got the thing I think most of you want to see, the Fire Emblem Cipher cards. It came in this bag called Dream Order, but I'm not really sure what that is. Dun 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 dun. So in this little box is where all the goodies are. I bought so many packs, guys. I bought 5 different sets, and two different packs of each of these different sets. So in total, that's 10 different packs. I'm not even able to hold them all up like this. If I'm remembering correctly, these 8 are about 385 yen each, which is about $2.47 American. While this one is 1,500 yen, which is $9.64. I actually thought these prices were pretty good because they're a lot cheaper than anything I could find on Amazon or eBay, and I don't have to worry about shipping or other mistakes that could happen when you buy a package. But I wasn't sure why this one was so expensive. Maybe it's just more rare. And this box has a lot of individual cards that I bought, all of which were already opened by other people. I spent so long looking through every single card on the shelf to try and find characters I either liked or the cards that looked cool, because oh my god, there were so many cards. There's also a lot here too, but it's only a small portion of what they had. Also in Akihabara, I went to this place called Akihabara Radio Kaikan. It's this huge shopping mall with 8 floors of only anime, video games, hobbies, other movies and stuff like that. And this place was bustling. It was probably the busiest store I went to in Akihabara. On Reddit, I found that somebody got Fire Emblem merch on the 4th floor, so that was the only floor I ended up going to. Because, again, I didn't have enough time to go through every single floor if I wanted to make every single store to get all the Fire Emblem merch. I did want to look at all of them though, because I saw some Animal Crossing stuff on other floors. But I had to cut some losses. Now, when I was looking at the merch, in my opinion, a lot of it was really, really expensive. When I first saw everything, I was like, dang, man, I really don't want to get anything. But then I thought, oh, shucks, it's such a rare opportunity that I'm actually in Tokyo. I feel like I kind of have to buy something. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to spend a little bit. So then I ended up getting this. I got a magnet for my favorite character, Yunaka. This magnet was 490 yen, which is equivalent to $3.15 American. I'm pretty happy about this purchase. I definitely wasn't expecting merch for non-Fire Emblem protagonists. But no, there were pretty much magnets for every single Fire Emblem Engage character. Also kind of interesting, there was this other Amiami store in Akihabara. And that was actually the first store I went to when I was trying to target this one, Radio Kaikan. And I kind of mixed those up at the time because that Amiami store also had several floors, but an employee told me that the upper floors were all closed. And so since I had heard that you get Fire Emblem merch on the 4th floor, I was like, dang, I'm not getting any Fire Emblem merch from this store. He actually told me that it would be until July or October when the upper floors would open. So I'm like, dang, dude, that's unlucky. Especially considering that was the first store I went to. I was like, dang, I might not get any Fire Emblem merch today. But interestingly, that Amiami store on that one floor did still have Fire Emblem merch. It had figures for Marth, Azura, Byleth, Celica, Edelgard, Corrin, but they all seemed really pricey, and a lot of them seemed refurbished, so I was like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna save my money for other stores, because even though it was the first store, I wasn't sure how much Fire Emblem stuff I would see later on, so maybe I would spend it all on other figures that are cheaper. That Cipher card store was one of the last I went to, and right before that store, I was kind of thinking, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna go back to that Amiami store to go and buy a figure because I hadn't bought much at that point. But then when I Google Maps the Amiami store, I searched Radio Kaikan instead. And then it led me to this store, which is pretty much how I ended up buying this Yunaka magnet. Which I'm pretty happy about. That mistake ended up being a good thing. Wait a second. I just realized it's not a magnet. It's a pin. Oh, shoot. Where can I put this? Is it magnetic? It can't be, right? No, it's not magnetic. It's a pin. This thing in the back was blocking it, and I can't read Japanese. I just assumed it was a magnet incorrectly. Silly of me to think that. Well, I don't really use pins. I'll have to figure out a place to put it. You know what? For now, I'll just put it on my table unpinned. Just like this, probably. I also went to this place called Liberty Akihabara, which was this huge gashapon store. Gashapons are those ball machines where you put in a coin and it gives you a random character. I had read that there was a single sighting of a gashapon machine for Animal Crossing in Tokyo, and that would be in this store. And what do you know, when I entered the store, I couldn't find it. So I was looking through probably like hundreds of gashapon machines until it was actually my dad who spotted the Animal Crossing gashapon machine right in the left corner of the store. He also plays Animal Crossing, so he was familiar with the characters. But it was 300 yen per roll, and I rolled 3 times. The first character I got was Blathers in this blue gashapon. I do quite like Blathers, so this was pretty cool. When assembled on his stand, Blathers looks like this. Wow, actually looks really good in my opinion. On my second roll, I got Cap'n. And when Cap'n's on his stand, he looks like this. Very funny pose. Last character I got was her. I think that's Diana. And this is what she looks like when she's on her stand. She comes with a little suitcase at the back too. Pretty cool. All 3 characters together look like this. Very cool. Looking at it now, I feel like it might be worth more than 300 yen. Especially considering this is the only gashapon store I could find with Animal Crossing characters. The last store I bought stuff from in Akihabara was Super Potato, where I got this Blathers plushie on the 2nd floor. In Akihabara, I also went to Kotobukiya, which had the Fire Emblem Engage soundtrack, as well as the Mandalay Complex, which had retro Fire Emblem games. But I didn't actually end up buying anything from those 2 stores. But actually, this Blathers plushie was my first purchase in Akihabara. And it's so cute! It's so soft, too. And it's actually sold at the same price as the other plushies in the Nintendo store, which is 2,200 yen. Speaking of the Nintendo store, I also bought some goodies from the Nintendo store as well, which is located in Shibuya Parko on the 6th floor. Even the bag is super pretty. It's got Mario on the front, Nintendo Tokyo on the back, and I saw for some bigger bags that were holding Nintendo Switches, they had like all of the signature Nintendo characters like Mario, Kirby, Bowser, Villager, Inkling, all kinds of Nintendo characters. First one I got, it's a brand new Pro Controller. Very hyped about this. My first ever Pro Controller. I've been using a third-party one for the longest time. And before that, just regular Joy-Cons, which ended up drifting to nowhere and beyond. So I'm excited to have what some people call is the best Nintendo controller of all time. Seems like high expectations, so I can't set my expectations too high. It was cheaper in Japan than it was for me in Canada. The controller costed 7,678 yen, which is equivalent to 49 American dollars. The plan was originally just to get a controller, but then I also got a game as well. I got Pikmin 1+2. Super excited. It has a Japanese logo too. I don't have that many Switch physical games, so it's exciting to get one, especially in Japan. The bottom's different from usual ESRB, but they said that this can work in the US Switches as well. I'm trusting that. I'm guessing these ones might be able to play in every single region, because I've never seen this logo before. But Pikmin 1+2 was 4,980 yen, which is equivalent to $31.83 American cents. I also asked the employees if they had any Fire Emblem stuff, but they didn't sell any. That could be because Fire Emblem is pretty much a third-party game, like not a Nintendo exclusive, so maybe the Nintendo store just doesn't sell that at all. They had amiibos for like almost all the Smash characters though, for characters like Sephiroth, Bayonetta, who are third-party characters as well, none for Fire Emblem. So maybe he was telling the truth, that they are all sold out. Not sure though. Now the final thing comes in this package. You're gonna be like, what the heck, Justin? What in the world is this? See this right here? This says Kuma Book. I'm actually not sure if that's the name of the store, but if it is, Kuma Book was a bookstore in Diversity, which is in Odaiba. There, I got, check it out, 2 Animal Crossing books. They're so cute. Like, check it out, seriously. This one on the right is 900 yen, whereas this one is 1,000 yen. So honestly, it feels like a pretty good deal. And if you open it up, it's not like super wordy, so it's not like I'm missing out on much for not knowing Japanese. But you see here, it's like a comic book. It's literally so cute. I didn't even know there were Animal Crossing books. And here they are. You got Bunny here, Molly here, Bo here. It's the cutest thing ever. So I'm gonna look through this. I'm super excited. I'm actually not sure if I'm supposed to read from right to left or left to right. But yeah, stoked about this. And also this book as well. I haven't opened this yet, but it looks super cute. Let's open it. Ta-da! This is what it looks like unwrapped. I have no clue since there was no display of this book, so I'm hoping it's pretty cool. Let's see what a random page looks like. Okay! Looks like it's a comic book. And it's super cute. It's basically telling a story of a villager based on what I'm seeing. And it looks like, oh my god, I think that's Tammy. I had her once. Super cool. I want to try not to bend the pages as much. It's kind of what it looks like. Super cute. Just flip to another random page. We got Blathers here. My friend. As a plushie form. And a little miniature stand for him. Alright, very cool. I'm very happy with these two. I'll have to spend a lot of time looking through these. Maybe I'll learn Japanese just to be able to read these. It's not just to be able to read these. There's a whole bunch of other reasons to learn Japanese as well. But yeah, super happy about these books. They look super cool. I'm gonna put them on my shelf as well. But yeah, that's all the video game merchandise I bought in Tokyo. I also went to this store called the Book Off, which also sells lots of video game merchandise. Has a lot of secondhand games, especially Switch ones. I also saw Fire Emblem books for the first time, but they seemed a little pricey, and they were super thick in words. So I was like, it's gonna be tricky to like Google Translate every single page. It's not like there were lots of pictures like the Animal Crossing ones, so I didn't think it would be too great of an investment to buy it. But if you're interested in it, feel free to buy it. But yeah, I ended up not buying anything at Book Off. Thank you for watching my guide to buying Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing merch in Tokyo. If you want to see me open all my Cipher packs, you can watch this video. And if you want to see my full collection of cards, you can check out this one.